it's morning! Hey, wake up!
There are some movie scenes that are full of charm. Not because they're exciting, not because they're dramatic, just because they warm your heart. One of those scenes is Satsuki packing lunch in My Neighbor Totoro. It's such a simple bento. Rice, fish, a pickled plum. It's a little box of comfort put together by a big sister who's acting like an adult while their mother is away sick. That scene reminds me of something easy to forget as an adult, that simple meals made with care can feel special. I've been watching this movie with my kids many times, so tonight I thought I'd try bringing it to life. I want to make 2 versions. First, I'll recreate the original bento as closely as possible using ingredients from a Japanese market. Then, we'll make a version most of us could actually make with ingredients that you can easily find in an ordinary grocery store. Because as beautiful as the original is, I'm most curious about whether we can recreate a meal that feels special. Can a few simple swaps deliver that taste of nostalgia? Let's get to it. For this traditional bento, I had to make a trip to a Japanese market. Satsuki's bento looks simple, but it's made of some very specific things that create a classic, balanced meal. There are 2 items that I can only find in a Japanese market. First, this is umeboshi. It's a Japanese pickled plum, and it's a real flavor explosion. It's intensely salty and incredibly sour. Ooh. Whoa. I've heard some people that they actually just eat umeboshi as kind of a snack on its own. And I mean, good for them, I guess. Next is the most mysterious ingredient, at least for me. This fluffy pink stuff is called sakura denbu. It's a fish crumble usually made from cod, dried into light, fluffy flakes, and colored pink to look like cherry blossoms. It's visually striking, and it's got a sweet and savory taste to it. For our vegetable component, I'm using edamame. I have some frozen ones that I'll boil in some water according to the package directions, then pop them in an ice bath to stop the cooking process and keep that vibrant green color. For our fish, I'm using sardines in a can. This is a small fish that is similar to a smelt fish that you would normally see in this bento. I'm going to brush the sardines with some soy sauce, and then I'll pan fry them quickly for 2 minutes on each side. Bonus points if you have a grill. So with all our components ready, let's assemble. Create a bed of white rice in your bento container. The soy glazed smelt goes right across the middle, bright green edamame in one corner, and that sweet sakura denbu nested beside it. And for the final picture perfect touch from the movie, 1 whole pickled plum placed proudly on the rice. And there it is. Looks exactly like the movie, right?
I get one!
May, sit down and eat.
Bentos are simple meals, but there's something satisfying about how everything has its place. A little rice, a little fish, something green, something bright, sweet, and sour. It feels complete. It's balanced, it's simple, it's the kind of meal that quietly does its job. That's probably why it feels so comforting. It's not flashy, but it's a nice, cozy meal. Maybe that's part of why so many Studio Ghibli meals stick with people. They just feel lived in. I approve. So that was the authentic version, but most of us don't have a Japanese market around the corner. You may not find sakura denbu, umeboshi, or even smelts at your local supermarket. So let's see how close we can get using things most people already have access to. The goal is to create something comforting with what you have, finding swaps that honor the flavor and the spirit of the original. For the rice, while regular white rice is typically available in most stores, I decided to use arboreal rice, the kind used for risotto as a substitute you can find anywhere and maintain a stickier texture. For our green element, I have a very easy swap, frozen peas. They look almost identical to edamame, and once boiled in salted water, they provide that same vibrant pop. Now for the fish, I'm going to use this beautiful salmon fillet. It's not a small fish, but I sliced them into thin strips, skin on so they maintain the size and look of the OG. I'll cook them just like the sardines, brushing them with some soy sauce, and then I'll pan fry them quickly for a few minutes on each side to get a nice sear. Now for the sakura denbu, I decided to make my own fish crumble with these sole fillets I found on sale. On a skillet, I'm cooking the fish on low-medium heat. The goal here is to dry the fish and break it down to create that crumble. This process takes about 10 minutes to get that consistency. About halfway through, add a teaspoon of white sugar. Ideally, I would use mirin, a Japanese sweet rice wine, but that might not be accessible to most people. Shortly after, add a few drops of red food coloring to the fish. Keep stirring until you get that lovely pink hue, just like perfect cherry blossoms. Alternatively, if you're short on time, I would suggest using canned flake tuna or salmon with a touch of red food coloring for that similar effect. Let's assemble version 2. Bed of rice, our pan-fried salmon goes across the middle, scoop of green peas in one corner, our pink fish crumble in the other, and don't worry, I didn't forget about the umebashi. This was hard to sub for, but I settled with a cut of dill pickle. It's not as intense as umebashi, but it will provide some tanginess. It still feels warm, it still feels thoughtful, it still feels like opening a lunch someone packed with care. After making both versions, I don't think the magic of Satsuki's bento comes from the ingredients. I think it comes from what the lunch represents. It's simple, it's practical, it's made with care, shared with people you love. Sometimes the meals that stay with us aren't the most impressive ones. They're the ones that made us feel looked after, and after a long day, I think that's something a lot of us are looking for. Whether you use authentic ingredients or the grocery store version, I hope this inspires you to make something comforting for yourself this week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.
See you later!
Have a nice day!